China, vast, ancient, and endlessly diverse. A land where dynasties have risen and fallen, where rivers flow like veins through history, and where tradition and modern life intertwine like silk in the wind. Stretching from the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas to the emerald waters of the South China Sea, China is home to breathtaking landscapes. In the north, the Great Wall winds across deserts and mountains like a stone dragon. In the south, the karst peaks of Yili rise from misty rivers, quiet and surreal. In the west, the high plains of Tibet meet the sky in solemn beauty. In the east, modern skylines shine above ancient temples. Cities like Beijing and Shanghai pulse with energy, while nearby, ancient villages like Hongcun and Shidi preserve the poetry of the past. China is more than its scenery. It is a land of stories. The terracotta warriors stand frozen in time, guarding the tomb of an emperor from over 2,000 years ago. The Forbidden City whispers tales of emperors, concubines, and secret courts. Along the Silk Road, echoes of ancient trade still linger in desert winds. The country's culture is rich and layered, from the delicate brush of calligraphy to the vibrant roar of lion dances, from quiet tea ceremonies to the thunder of martial arts. Every gesture is rooted in centuries of thought and philosophy. This is Jiuzhaigou Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, known for its dreamlike beauty and untouched nature. The name Jiuzhaigou means Valley of Nine Villages, a tribute to the Tibetan communities that have lived here for centuries. Their culture and traditions still echo through the valley. Stretching over 700 square kilometers, this natural wonder is a landscape of colorful lakes, cascading waterfalls, and silent mountains. The water here is unlike anything you've seen before. In the valley's many lakes, it shines in shades of turquoise, emerald, and deep sapphire. Even on the stillest days, the lakes reflect the forests and skies with perfect clarity, as if nature painted them with glass. Five Flower Lake is the most iconic. Its waters are so clear you can see ancient tree trunks lying at the bottom, untouched by time. In autumn, golden leaves fall on its surface, creating a picture of harmony and peace. Then there's Pearl Shoal Waterfall, a curtain of water that spreads wide across the rocks, shimmering like thousands of tiny pearls. In spring, it roars with life. In winter, it freezes into a sculpture of ice and light. As you wander deeper, you'll hear the whispers of ancient trees and the songs of wild birds. Snow leopards, golden monkeys, and giant pandas still roam the distant corners of the park. In every season, Jitel reveals a different face. Welcome to Kanas Lake, a place of mystery, legend, and breathtaking beauty. Located in Xinjiang's Altai Mountains, near the borders of Kazakhstan, Russia, and Mongolia, Kanas is a land of stunning contrasts. Here, cultures meet, landscapes blend, and time seems to stand still. The name Kanas means beautiful and mysterious lake in the Mongolian language. And true to its name, the lake shimmers in colors that change with the seasons: emerald green in spring, deep blue in summer, golden in autumn, and silver white in winter. Surrounded by thick alpine forests and towering peaks, Kanas Lake stretches over 24 kilometers, fed by glacial waters from the surrounding mountains. Local legends speak of a giant creature living in its depths, a lake monster that stirs the waters and disappears beneath the surface. Whether truth or tale, the mystery only adds to the lake's magic. Above the lake, the fish-watching pavilion offers a view like no other. From here you can see the full sweep of the valley, where pine-covered hills give way to open meadows and distant glaciers. In autumn, the entire region bursts into color. The forests glow with gold, orange, and red, mirrored perfectly in the calm waters below. It is a paradise for photographers, poets, and dreamers. The people of the area, Kazakh herders, Mongolian families, and Tuvan communities, still live in harmony with the land, their traditions deeply rooted in the rhythms of nature. Welcome to the Rainbow Mountains of Zhangye-Dansha, a geological wonder in Gansu province. Here, layers of red, yellow, orange, and blue stretch across rolling hills and jagged cliffs. The colors are not a trick of the light, they are real, created by nature over millions of years. These formations were born from ancient sandstone and mineral deposits, pressed together and lifted by tectonic forces. Wind and rain sculpted the mountains into strange shapes, revealing vibrant stripes that ripple across the land like waves of color. The Rainbow Mountains cover an area of over 200 square miles, but only a small part is open to visitors. Within this protected zone, wooden boardwalks and observation decks allow you to walk among the hills without disturbing their delicate beauty. The best time to see them is after rainfall or during sunrise and sunset, when the low light makes the colors glow even more vividly. Each view is like a painting, a masterpiece of time, earth, and sky. No two ridges are the same. Some rise gently, others spike sharply into the air. Some are striped like a tiger's back, others ripple like silk in the wind. These mountains have become one of China's most iconic natural wonders, attracting travelers, photographers, and dreamers from around the world. But despite their fame, there is a silence here, a stillness that reminds you how long nature has worked to create this beauty. This is the Wulingyuan Scenic Area, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and one of China's most breathtaking landscapes. Spread across over 1,000 square kilometers, Wulingyuan is a vast wonderland of towering sandstone pillars, lush forests, deep ravines, and sparkling streams. It is home to over 3,000 narrow peaks, many of them rising hundreds of meters into the sky like stone sentinels guarding an ancient secret. The most famous part of Wulingyuan is Jiuzhaigou National Forest Park, where nature has sculpted a vertical world of cliffs and floating mountains. These formations inspired the floating Hallelujah Mountains in the movie Avatar. But Wulingyuan is more than just Zhangjiajie. The area also includes Tianzi Mountain, known as the Monarch of the Clouds, where you can look down on seas of mist that drift between the peaks like rivers in the sky. Nearby, the Fuxian Valley opens into a maze of ridges and gorges, filled with waterfalls, caves, and quiet streams. Hidden within it are peaceful paths where you can walk in silence, surrounded by nature's ancient design. The Baofeng Lake, set between green cliffs, reflects the mountains like a mirror and offers a moment of stillness on the water. Wulingyuan is also rich in life. Rare plants grow in the forests, and monkeys leap through the trees. Birds call from the cliffs, and the wind carries the sound of distant waterfalls. Welcome to the Longji rice terraces, also known as the Dragon's Backbone. These terraces stretch like waves across the hillsides, rising from valley floors to mountain tops. From a distance, they resemble the scales of a dragon, winding through mist and cloud. Built over 700 years ago by the Zhuang and Yao people, the Longji terraces are a living work of art. They are not just for beauty, they are for life. Every step holds the story of farming, family, and survival. There are several villages scattered through the area, each with its own view of the terraces. The most famous are Pinggan village and Danjai village. Reaching them means a walk through forested trails, bamboo groves, and peaceful mountain paths. In spring, the terraces are filled with water, turning the hills into mirrors that reflect the sky. In summer, they shine with vibrant green as rice plants grow tall. Autumn paints the fields in gold, and winter brings a dusting of snow, soft and white over the curved lines of the land. Watching the sunrise over Longji is a quiet moment of wonder. As the first light touches the water-filled fields, the terraces come alive with color and shadow. The people here still follow the rhythms of the earth. Wooden houses cling to the slopes. Farmers tend the fields by hand. Festivals bring color, music, and joy to the mountains. This is the Badain Jaran Desert, one of the most mysterious and breathtaking deserts on Earth. Located in western Inner Mongolia, the Badain Jaran is not the largest desert in China, but it is perhaps the most dramatic. It is known for its towering sand dunes, some of the highest in the world, rising more than 500 meters above the desert floor. Here, the dunes sing. When the wind moves across the sand, it creates a low humming sound, a natural phenomenon known as the booming dunes. It is a voice of the desert, ancient and deep, but the true wonder of Badain Jaran is hidden between the dunes. Scattered across this arid land are more than 100 freshwater and saltwater lakes, still blue oases in a sea of gold. No rivers feed them. Their origin remains a mystery. These lakes create surreal reflections of the surrounding dunes. Some are crystal clear. Others are rimmed with white salt. Around them grow reeds and grasses, drawing birds, camels, and rare wildlife to drink and rest. In the heart of the desert stands the Badain Jaran Temple, built on a cliff beside one of the sacred lakes. Isolated and peaceful, it has stood for centuries, a place of prayer in the silence. Traveling here is not easy. The paths are unmarked, the distances are great. But for those who reach it, the desert offers a deep and unforgettable peace. At sunrise, the dunes glow with soft light. Welcome to Mount Huangshan, one of China's most breathtaking natural wonders. Located in the eastern province of Anhui, Mount Huangshan has long inspired poets, painters, and travelers from across the world. Known as the Yellow Mountain, this majestic range is famed for its mystical scenery, dramatic granite peaks, ancient pine trees, and swirling seas of clouds. The mountain range stretches across an area of nearly 150 square kilometers and features 72 peaks, each with its own unique shape and name. The most famous among them are the Lotus Peak, the Bright Summit Peak, and the Celestial Capital Peak. These towering giants rise over 6,000 feet above sea level, offering panoramic views that feel almost otherworldly. The beauty of Mount Huangshan changes with the seasons. In spring, flowers bloom along the trails. In summer, the peaks emerge through mists like islands in the sky. Autumn colors the forests in gold and crimson, while winter wraps the mountain in a blanket of snow, turning it into a silent, frozen wonderland. The mountain is also home to the legendary Huangshan pine. These ancient trees grow directly from rocks, twisted and gnarled by centuries of wind. Their stubborn beauty symbolizes endurance and resilience. Mount Huangshan is more than a natural marvel. It holds deep cultural significance. For over 1,000 years, it has been a place of spiritual retreat for monks, poets, and scholars. Welcome to Yangshuo, a land where mountains rise like ancient dragons and rivers flow like silk through emerald valleys. Nestled in southern China's Guangxi province, Yangshuo is world-renowned for its spectacular karst mountain landscape. These limestone peaks stretch across the horizon, forming a surreal world that feels like a traditional Chinese painting come to life. The heart of Yangshuo lies along the Li River. A journey down this peaceful river offers unforgettable views. The water is calm, the air is fresh, and reflections of the mountains ripple with each passing bamboo raft. Mist often drifts over the river in the early morning, creating an atmosphere of quiet mystery. Beyond the river, small villages rest at the base of the peaks. These villages, some over 1,000 years old, preserve the rhythm of rural Chinese life. Farmers tend to rice paddies, children play in the fields, and elders sit under banyan trees, sharing stories of generations past. One of the most famous sights is Moon Hill, a natural arch carved by time. From its summit, reached by climbing over 800 stone steps, you can gaze across the countryside and see layer upon layer of jagged green peaks. As the sun sets over Yangshuo, the sky turns golden. Shadows stretch across the land, and the mountains glow in the fading light. At night, stars shine above, and the world grows still, wrapped in a peaceful silence that feels both ancient and eternal. This is Mount Gongga, the king of Sichuan mountains. Also called Minya Konka, this towering peak rises over 7,500 meters, making it the highest mountain in Sichuan province and the easternmost peak over 7,000 meters on Earth. To the Tibetan people, Mount Gongga is more than a mountain. It is a holy presence, a protector of the land, and a symbol of spiritual power. For centuries, pilgrims have journeyed across valleys and ridges to bow before its white summit. Surrounded by steep cliffs, glaciers, and deep valleys, Mount Gongga dominates the landscape with both beauty and danger. It is known among climbers for its harsh weather and remote location. Fewer people have reached its summit than Everest. But you don't have to climb it to feel its magic. From Emei Pass, you can witness the mountain glowing at sunrise, its icy peak catching the first light of dawn. On clear days, the reflection of Mount Gongga appears in nearby alpine lakes, still and perfect, like a dream captured in water. Forests, meadows and rivers fill the valleys below, home to wild yaks, snow leopards, and rare birds. Tiny Tibetan villages rest quietly in the foothills, where prayer flags flutter in the mountain wind. Every season brings a different face to Mount Gongga. Spring fills the meadows with wild flowers. Summer reveals green slopes beneath the ice. Autumn wraps the valleys in gold. This is Qinghai Lake, the largest saltwater lake in China, and one of the most beautiful places on the roof of the world. Surrounded by snow-capped peaks, rolling grasslands, and endless skies, Qinghai Lake covers more than 4,000 square kilometers. Its waters shine in deep shades of blue and green, shifting with the light, the clouds, and the seasons. To the Tibetan and Mongolian people, this lake is sacred, a symbol of purity, peace, and the spirit of nature. They call it Koko Nor, meaning blue lake. In summer, the shores come alive with color. Fields of golden rapeseed flowers stretch toward the horizon, their petals glowing under the high-altitude sun. Nomads pitch their white tents along the grasslands, herding yaks and sheep as they have for centuries. Bird Island, located in the western part of the lake, becomes a paradise for wildlife. Tens of thousands of birds migrate here every year, gulls, geese, and cormorants, filling the sky with sound and movement. The lake is not just a place of beauty, but of reflection. The silence is vast. The wind is strong. The horizon feels endless. Here, you begin to understand the meaning of stillness. Cyclists from around the world come to ride the road that circles the lake, a journey of over 300 kilometers through some of China's most open and untouched landscapes. And when the sun begins to set, the water catches fire with color. This is Yamdrok Lake, a jewel of turquoise set in a land of silence. Stretching over 70 kilometers in length, Yamdrok Lake winds through the valleys like a sleeping dragon. Its waters shine in brilliant shades of blue, changing color with the light, the sky, and the shifting clouds. Tibetans believe Yamdrok is a life-giving spirit, one of the 4 great holy lakes of Tibet. They say that if the lake ever dries up, all life in the region will end. To this day, pilgrims walk its entire shoreline in quiet devotion, a journey that can take several weeks. From the mountain pass of Kambala, the first view of the lake is unforgettable. It appears suddenly, vast, still, and impossibly blue. Behind it, distant peaks of the Himalayas rise into the sky, including the towering Mount Nojingkangsang, covered in eternal snow. The lake rests at over 4,400 meters above sea level. There are no cities here, no crowds, only scattered villages and herds of yaks grazing under the open sky. The water is so clear it reflects the sky like a mirror. In summer, wildflowers bloom along the shores. In winter, the surface sometimes freezes, wrapping the land in quiet stillness. Monasteries overlook the lake from the hills above. This is Tiger Leaping Gorge, a place of legend, power, and breathtaking natural beauty. Carved by the mighty Jinsha River, a main tributary of the Yangtze, the gorge stretches over 15 kilometers between two towering mountain ranges. On one side stands Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, on the other, Harbor Snow Mountain. Both rise more than 5,000 meters into the sky, while the river thunders below, nearly 3,000 meters beneath their peaks. This makes Tiger Leaping Gorge one of the deepest canyons in the world. Its name comes from an old legend. It is said that a tiger, chased by hunters, leapt across the narrowest point of the gorge, a distance just wide enough for a single bound. That spot, marked by a massive rock in the river, is still visited today. The gorge is not just a sight to see, it is a path to walk. The high trail carved along the cliffside winds through villages, waterfalls, and high terraces, offering hikers stunning views of the river far below. It is a journey filled with challenge and reward. Villages like Naxi and Bendiwan are scattered along the trail. Here, travelers can rest, share stories, and experience the life of the local Naxi people, who have lived in harmony with this land for generations. At every turn, the gorge reveals something new: crashing rapids, narrow cliff paths, and sudden quiet moments where only the wind and water speak. This is Mount Siguniang, the Mountain of Four Sisters. Named after four graceful peaks, said to be the spirits of four sisters, this sacred mountain range is one of China's most stunning alpine destinations. The tallest of the four, Emei Peak, stands at over 6,200 meters. It is known as the Queen of Sichuan's mountains, elegant, powerful, and always watching. Mount Siguniang is more than just one peak. It is a vast landscape of valleys, glaciers, forests, and highland meadows. The three main valleys, Shuangqiao, Changping, and Haizi, each offer a different side of this mountain world. Shuangqiao Valley is gentle and open, perfect for walking and taking in the wide views of snow-covered peaks and colorful forests. Changping Valley winds deep into the mountains, where ancient pine trees tower above clear streams. Haizi Valley is wild and remote, home to high-altitude lakes that shimmer under the thin air. In spring, wildflowers bloom across the meadows. In autumn, golden leaves blanket the hillsides. In winter, everything becomes still, frozen in white silence. The local Tibetan and Chang people believe the mountains are holy. They offer prayers, raise colorful flags to the wind, and live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Mount Siguniang is also a dream for climbers and trekkers. This is the Enshi Grand Canyon, one of China's most spectacular and lesser-known natural wonders. Stretching for more than 20 kilometers through the Qing River Basin, the canyon is part of the vast karst landscape of central China. Towering limestone cliffs, strange rock formations, waterfalls, and underground rivers come together to create a world both wild and breathtaking. The cliffs here soar hundreds of meters into the air. Some stand alone like giant stone towers. Others form endless ridgelines covered in green. The most famous is the One Incense Stick, a single narrow spire rising straight from the canyon floor, tall, thin, and impossibly balanced. Locals say it was formed by the gods. Scientists say it was carved by wind, water, and time. Either way, it is unforgettable. Hiking through Enshi is like walking through a natural cathedral. Paths wind along cliff edges, through caves, and across narrow glass walkways that seem to float above the abyss. At every turn, the canyon reveals something new, a waterfall, a cave, a view that steals your breath. The Yunlong ground fissure, another highlight, is a deep crack in the earth over 100 meters long. Visitors can walk right into the heart of the canyon, surrounded by vertical walls of rock and shadow. In spring and summer, mist rises through the trees. This is Fuxian Lake, one of China's purest and most mysterious bodies of water. Located just south of Kunming, Fuxian Lake stretches for over 30 kilometers and reaches depths of more than 150 meters. It is the third deepest freshwater lake in China, known for its crystal clear water, its rich biodiversity, and its quiet, haunting beauty. From above, the lake shines in deep shades of blue and emerald, reflecting the sky like a giant mirror. Along its shores are peaceful villages, sandy beaches, and stretches of untouched forest. Unlike many lakes, the waters of Fuxian are almost entirely free from pollution. The lake is so clean that you can often see several meters straight down into its depths. It is home to many rare fish species, some found nowhere else in the world. But Fuxian is more than just a lake. It is a place of legend. Locals tell stories of an ancient lost city beneath the waves, ruins of stone walls and roads, resting quietly on the lakebed. Some believe it was once home to a vanished civilization, swallowed by the water long ago. Divers have even discovered mysterious stone structures deep below the surface, sparking curiosity and wonder. At sunrise, the lake glows with golden light. Fishermen cast their nets. Birds call across the still water. This is Lugu Lake, a hidden jewel, steeped in legend, beauty, and culture. Surrounded by green mountains and dotted with small islands, Lugu Lake stretches over 50 square kilometers. Its clear sapphire waters reflect the sky, the trees, and the ancient traditions of the people who live along its shores. The lake sits at an altitude of nearly 2,700 meters. Its air is fresh and cool. Its surface is calm and undisturbed. Time here seems to move slowly, in rhythm with the wind and the waves. Lugu Lake is also home to one of the most unique cultures in the world, the Mosuo people. Known as the Kingdom of Women, this matriarchal society is led by women. Families are passed down through the mother's line, and love is expressed through the tradition of the walking marriage, a gentle and ancient custom. The villages around the lake, such as Lij, Lushui, and Dalushui, offer windows into this rich way of life. Wooden houses rest on the hillsides. Locals paddle across the lake in narrow canoes known as pig trough boats, gliding over the water like shadows. In the early morning, mists drift across the lake's surface. At dusk, golden light spills over the mountains, and the lake turns to fire and glass. This is the Yili River Valley, a land of grasslands, flowers, and flowing water, nestled in the heart of Xinjiang. Fed by melting snow from the surrounding peaks, the Yili River winds gently through one of the most fertile and peaceful valleys in the region. Its waters nourish fields, forests, and ancient settlements, giving life to one of China's most stunning natural landscapes. In spring, the valley awakens in color. Fields of wild tulips and canola flowers stretch as far as the eye can see, blanketing the land in shades of yellow, pink, and green. In summer, the air is warm and sweet, as herds of horses graze freely across the open meadows. The Yili River Valley is also home to rolling hills like Naloti grassland, where the sky feels close enough to touch. Here, Kazakh herders live as they have for centuries, in round white yurts, tending to their flocks under the open sky. Their music, customs, and hospitality are part of the valley's living tradition. Further west lies the lavender fields of Huangshan, often compared to those of Provence. In early summer, the valley fills with the soft scent of lavender, painting the land in waves of purple. The valley's beauty changes with every season. Autumn brings golden forests and crisp mountain air. In winter, snow falls gently over the hills, and the river runs quiet under a blanket of white. This is the Maijishan Grottoes, a masterpiece of stone, faith, and human devotion. Maijishan, which means wheat stack mountain, rises steeply from the forest below like a giant earthen pillar. Into its face are carved over 200 caves, filled with more than 7,000 sculptures and murals, some dating back over 1,500 years. These grottos were shaped by hand, beginning in the late Qin dynasty and continuing through the Northern Wei, Western Wei, and Tang dynasties. Each generation added to the mountain, carving deeper, painting brighter, and dreaming higher. The statues range from tiny, delicate Buddhas to massive stone guardians towering over 10 meters tall. Their faces are serene, their robes flowing, each figure a blend of Indian, Central Asian, and Chinese artistic styles. But it is not just the art that stuns, it is the place itself. Narrow plank walkways cling to the cliff face, winding between caves. As you walk along the wooden paths, the valley stretches out below, and the mountain looms above. The feeling is both peaceful and humbling. The grottos were more than just art. They were sacred spaces where monks meditated, prayed, and sought enlightenment. The silence of centuries still lingers in the stone halls. Maijishan has stood through earthquakes, rain, and time. This is the Dushanzi Grand Canyon, wild, vast, and sculpted by nature's relentless force. Located near the city of Emei, the canyon stretches for dozens of kilometers, carved over millions of years by glacier meltwaters and seasonal rivers. From above, it looks like an enormous crack in the earth, splitting the land into endless ridges, spires, and deep ravines. The canyon walls are steep and jagged, formed by layers of black rock, red clay, and golden earth. Over time, Wind and water have shaped the landscape into sharp crests and flowing lines, giving it an otherworldly appearance, like something out of a dream or a distant planet. Walking along the canyon's edge, the scale is overwhelming. Each cliff, each ridge, each shadow holds the silent story of ages long gone. There is no noise here but the whisper of wind and the soft call of birds circling high above. Dushanzi Grand Canyon is a place of contrast, harsh yet delicate. Barren yet beautiful, under the open Xinjiang sky, it glows with light and shadow, changing with the hour, shifting with the season. During sunset, the canyon turns gold and crimson. The ridges shine like flame, and the silence deepens. It is a moment where the land feels alive, breathing through stone. This is the Hani rice terraces, a living work of art, carved into the hills by generations of the Hani people. For over 1,000 years, the Hani have transformed these steep mountains into stairways of rice, rising layer by layer, like giant green and golden mirrors reflecting the sky. Stretching across more than 60,000 hectares, these terraces wrap around the mountainsides, from the river valleys below to the high peaks above. Each terrace is a narrow strip of cultivated land, filled with water, catching the light of dawn and dusk. During spring, the fields shine like silver. In summer, they turn a rich green. Autumn brings gold, and winter reflects the heavens. The engineering is ancient, yet astonishing. The Hani people use an intricate system of channels, forests, and springs to keep the terraces irrigated year-round, without machines, without chemicals, and in harmony with nature. The villages, built with stone and wood, sit quietly among the terraces. Here, water buffalo roam, children laugh, and old traditions continue. Life flows with the land. At sunrise, the view is magical. Layers of fog drift between the terraces, revealing a world that feels suspended between earth and sky. Designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Hani rice terraces are more than just a farming system. This is Mount Emei, a spiritual peak, a natural wonder, and a place where heaven and earth seem to meet. Mount Emei is one of the 4 sacred Buddhist mountains of China. For over 2,000 years, pilgrims have climbed its winding paths in search of peace, wisdom, and enlightenment. The mountain soars to over 3,000 meters above sea level. At its peak, known as the Golden Summit, clouds drift below your feet, and the sky seems close enough to touch. From here, on a clear morning, the sunrise is not just seen, it is felt. Along the journey to the top, the landscape transforms. Dense bamboo groves give way to ancient pine forests. Streams murmur softly, and waterfalls leap from cliffs like silver ribbons. Monkeys call through the trees, and small shrines rest quietly by the trail. Scattered along the slopes are historic temples, some over 1,000 years old. Budogwo Temple, Fuhu Temple, and the magnificent Golden Summit Temple, Each tell their own story, filled with prayer, incense, and timeless stone carvings. On certain days, a rare sight appears: the Buddha's halo, a rainbow ring of light that circles your shadow on the clouds. Locals call it a blessing from the mountain. Mount Emei is not just a place of faith, it is a sanctuary for rare plants and animals, protected for generations. The Great Wall of China, stretching over 13,000 miles. This ancient marvel is a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and history. Join us as we explore its origins, its purpose, and the breathtaking landscapes it traverses. Built over 2,000 years ago, the Great Wall began as a series of smaller walls. These were constructed by various states during China's Warring States period to protect against invaders. It was Emperor Qin Shi Huang in the 3rd century BC who unified these walls into a single formidable barrier. His vision was to shield the newly formed empire from northern nomadic tribes. Constructing the Great Wall was a monumental task. Millions of workers, including soldiers, peasants, and prisoners, toiled under harsh conditions. They used local materials, stone, wood, and earth to create a structure that could withstand time and nature. Watchtowers, garrisons, and signal systems were strategically placed to communicate threats across vast distances. Today, the Great Wall stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, drawing millions of visitors each year. Its most famous sections, like Badain and Mutianyu, offer stunning views and a glimpse into China's imperial past. The Forbidden City's design reflects harmony and power. Its layout follows Feng Shui principles, aligned with cosmic order. The Meridian Gate, with its 5 arches, welcomes visitors into courtyards vast enough for thousands. Golden tiled roofs symbolize imperial divinity, while intricate woodwork and vibrant colors dazzle the eye. The Hall of Supreme Harmony, the tallest structure, hosted grand ceremonies. Imagine life within these walls. Emperors wielded absolute power, their days filled with rituals and governance. Concubines lived in secluded quarters, their lives a blend of luxury and rivalry. Eunuchs numbering in the thousands managed daily operations, every corner from throne rooms to gardens, pulsed with stories of ambition and intrigue. Visitors enter through the Meridian Gate, stepping into history. The outer court, with its grand halls, showcases imperial might. The inner court reveals intimate palaces and tranquil gardens. Audio guides and signs in multiple languages make exploration accessible. Early morning visits avoid crowds, offering a peaceful glimpse of imperial life. Time and tourism challenge the Forbidden City's preservation. Weather wears down delicate woodwork, and millions of visitors strain its grounds. The Terracotta Army, located near the city of Xi'an in Shanxi province. This silent army has stood guard for more than 2,000 years. Buried underground for centuries, it was discovered in the year 1974 by local farmers digging a well. What they unearthed was extraordinary: an entire army made of clay, crafted to protect China's first emperor in the afterlife. His name was Qin Shi Huang, the ruler who unified China over 2,000 years ago. The Terracotta Army is made up of thousands of life-size soldiers, each one unique. No two faces are alike. Some wear heavy armor, others hold weapons. There are archers, cavalrymen, and charioteers. Alongside them are clay horses, and even models of wooden chariots that once stood tall. It is believed that over 700,000 workers toiled for nearly 4 decades to complete this grand tomb complex. The army itself stretches across 3 main pits, covering an area the size of several football fields. Despite the scale, only a fraction has been fully uncovered. Many parts of the tomb remain untouched, including the emperor's central mausoleum, which legends say is filled with rivers of mercury and ancient treasures. Today, the Terracotta Army stands as a window into China's imperial past. Mount Everest, the tallest peak on Earth, stands at an incredible height of 8,848 meters. Every year, adventurers from around the world set out to experience the breathtaking beauty and challenge of reaching its base camp. Our journey begins in the vibrant city of Kathmandu, Nepal's bustling capital. Here, trekkers prepare their gear and acclimatize before flying to Lugu, a small town with one of the world's most famous airports perched high in the Himalayas. From Lugu, the trek to Everest Base Camp begins. The trail winds through stunning pine forests, across roaring rivers, and through traditional Sherpa villages. Along the way, trekkers encounter prayer flags fluttering in the mountain breeze, Buddhist monasteries, and friendly locals who have called this region home for centuries. The trek covers approximately 110 kilometers round trip, and typically takes about 12 to 14 days. Trekkers ascend gradually, allowing their bodies to adapt to the increasing altitude. This slow climb is vital to avoid altitude sickness, which can be dangerous in these high elevations. As we move higher, the landscape transforms. The trees give way to rugged terrain, and towering peaks like Armadablam and Lhotse dominate the skyline. Welcome to the Yungang Grottoes, a silent treasure carved into the cliffs of northern China. Located near the city of Datong in Shanxi province, the Yungang Grottoes are one of the most magnificent examples of ancient Buddhist art in the world. Over 1,500 years ago, master craftsmen and monks began carving these caves directly into sandstone cliffs, creating a legacy that still echoes today. There are over 200 caves and more than 50,000 statues spread across a 1-kilometer stretch. Each cave holds a world of sacred beauty, rows of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and guardian figures, their faces calm, their presence timeless. Some of the statues are small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Others stand over 50 feet tall, towering over visitors with quiet grace. These giant Buddhas are carved with exquisite detail, their eyes gazing into eternity. The grottos were begun during the Northern Wei dynasty in the 5th century. This was a time when Buddhism was spreading throughout China, and the Yungang caves were created as a spiritual offering, a place for meditation, devotion, and peace. Inside the caves, the walls are covered in carvings, scenes from Buddhist scriptures. Welcome to the Potala Palace, a symbol of Tibet, standing high above the city of Lhasa, majestic and timeless. Rising over 12,000 feet above sea level, the Potala Palace is one of the highest ancient palaces in the world. Built on the red hill, it looks like a fortress from a dream, its white and red walls shining under the vast blue sky. Construction of the palace began in the 7th century, during the reign of King Songtsen-gampo. It was expanded in the 17th century by the 5th Dalai Lama. Since then, it has served as the spiritual and political center of Tibetan Buddhism. The palace is made up of two main parts, the White Palace and the Red Palace. The White Palace was once the residence of the Dalai Lamas. It includes living quarters, offices, and a peaceful meditation space. The Red Palace is the heart of the spiritual life. It holds golden stupas, sacred scriptures, and rooms filled with ancient murals and statues. In total, the Potala Palace contains over 1,000 rooms and more than 10,000 shrines. Every hall, every staircase, and every corner whispers stories of devotion, wisdom, and history. From the top you can see all of Lhasa, the rooftops below, the mountains in the distance. Welcome to West Lake, the soul of Hangzhou and one of the most beautiful lakes in all of China. Surrounded by misty hills and ancient temples, West Lake has inspired poets, painters, and emperors for more than 1,000 years. It is not just a lake, it is a living painting, where nature and culture exist in perfect harmony. Located in the eastern province of Zhejiang, West Lake covers an area of nearly 6 square kilometers. Its calm waters reflect willow trees, stone bridges, and distant mountains, creating scenes that change with the seasons and with the light. West Lake is divided into 5 sections by thin causeways and tree-lined paths. The most famous of these are the Su Causeway and the Bai Causeway. Walking along them feels like stepping into a dream, with lotus blossoms in summer and falling leaves in autumn. Many of China's most treasured legends were born here. The tale of the white snake, the story of the butterfly lovers. These ancient love stories still echo across the water, carried by the wind and remembered in the pavilions that dot the shore. Famous landmarks surround the lake. The Lifeng Pagoda rises in the south, its golden spire glowing at sunset.